Hey guys, so I wanted to get on here today and just make this video for people who are thinking about going or just even curious about Camino de Santiago. And I have some questions here, and they're both combining some spiritual aspects of it as well as some of the logistics. So let's go over them. The first question is, what is the spiritual significance of Camino de Santiago? So, Camino de Santiago is a pilgrimage that was walked by Saint James. He's one of Jesus Christ's apostles, and he walked this way preaching and sharing the teachings of Jesus along this route. And it starts in France, Saint Jean Pied de Port, which I think I said that right. And then it ends in Santiago de Compostela. And it usually takes 30 to 36 days to walk it. I met a few people along the way who walked it in 28 days, which is crazy fast. Yeah, that's quite fast. I'm a slow walker and I like being slow while walking too. So yeah, for me, I took all 36 days, but I went all the way to Fistera. Fistera is right at the corner of Spain, basically. It's the furthest point out on the west, and it was known as the end of the world, and so they didn't think anything was past that, which I don't know why Jesus didn't tell them that there was something past it, but it's okay. Um, so another question is, what are the different routes of Camino de Santiago, and which one should you choose? So there's probably like a dozen routes. There's so many ways, but the way that St. James took was the French way, and it's the route with the most amount of amenities, the most amount of places to stay, the most amount of cafes to go to, and the most amount of pilgrims as well. So if you're looking for a feel of community and the pilgrims being together, then I highly recommend going on the French way. And I also think for me personally, I chose it because it's the original route. And before going on one that's not as community based, I wanted to experience what it was all about. And I feel like it gets me more prepared for when I'm on my own more, because the rest of them, you're usually going to be on your own a lot more. Even though 85% of the time I was on my own for this one. Maybe that was because I was very introverted on this trip and I just wanted space and time for myself, but that was a choice that I had made. Um, there were so many people you could meet on this way, and at times it was even challenging to get a bed for some people. So yeah, it just really depends on what you're looking for. For me personally, I'm very happy that I went with the French route to start with. What kind of accommodation options are available? Yeah, so on the French way, there were so many places available, and at times when it got very busy, then yeah, it was challenging to get a bed. I think I didn't struggle with that part of it. Maybe like 3 or 4 times, like I had to walk maybe an hour or two extra to get a bed, but aside from that, like I didn't have any troubles. I think what becomes challenging is if you're in your 60s and you have to walk another 2 hours, but you're just done for the day, then that's a bit challenging. And so a lot of people just started like panicking and making reservations. And for me, making reservations wasn't the answer because it felt like then I had to stay in a place, and I wanted to have the flexibility to go wherever I wanted. And at times I felt like I had so much more energy that I could keep going further. Um, but I was just slower. So I would walk longer, but I would just take my time usually. How should I prepare physical and mental challenges on Camino? So those are two separate questions. The physical aspect, I highly recommend just like 1 month prior to walking Camino de Santiago, just start walking outside. Like it's that simple. Just get your body used to it. And then on the second week, start adding weight to your body, because when you have your backpack on you, it's quite a bit of weight. It's like 15 pounds on your back. You're carrying all your stuff with you. And they actually do have facilities where you can pay like €6 to get it dropped off at the next location. You're more than welcome to try that. But if you have the physical capabilities, I would just say carry your backpack if you feel called to it. Uh, I think it gives you an appreciation for everything you bring, like a deeper appreciation. And you start to realize you actually don't need that much physical, materialistic stuff. Like I had 3 outfits the whole time, and it was the perfect amount. Never in my life did I think in 36 days, like 3 outfits would be enough. And it really gave me such appreciation for when I had my suitcase, which had dresses in it, and like I was like wearing them, and I was just like, wow, like this is amazing. Like, you feel so much gratitude when you have other things later on. So what I had done was in Saint Jean Pied de Port, which is like the start, I had my suitcase shipped all the way to Santiago de Compostela. And that was like roughly around 70 euros. And it was super easy. It just went to a hotel over there, and then I picked it up at the end. Let's see. Next question. What should I pack? I'm gonna make a video on that afterwards. Oh wait, I didn't go over the mental and emotional challenges. So that'll be a video on its own as well. So I'll make 2 more videos because I think the emotional aspect for me was the most challenging. But it was also the most like beautiful because there was so much opportunity for growth there. And yeah, so I'm gonna go over that in another video as well as a packing list. How much does it cost to walk Camino de Santiago? I had like $2,500 USD. So, and that was the perfect amount for me. On average, the stays cost when you're in an albergue, which is where most of the pilgrims stay. If you're going in a hostel, it's a little bit more expensive. If you're going in a hotel, it's much more expensive. So, but it's still a good price for hotels. Like some of the small towns for a hotel, it was like 40 euros, which is really good for a hotel, like a good hotel. Um, but for an albergue, when you're sleeping with other people in the room, and you're like washing your own laundry and doing all of that, it's roughly like 10, 12, 13, 14 euros a night. And then some places you can find for 7 euros too. Some are donation based places that you can find as well. You can stay in some of the cathedrals, which is really cool. Uh, and I think staying in, I couldn't do that every night, staying in like the churches and stuff, but once in a while it was really nice because it felt like there was such a community vibe there. Like we would eat together, we would clean up together, we would do everything together. So that was really beautiful. How can I navigate language barriers and communicate with locals during the journey? So for me, I started practicing Spanish 5 months prior to going, and that was just because it was like I felt passionate about learning Spanish and becoming fluent in it. Like I didn't even know I was going on the way. Um, but I highly recommend like getting Duolingo and just starting that as well a month in advance. And I only did like 5 minutes a day, but if you do like 15, 20 minutes a day, you'll get the hang of it pretty quickly. And Duolingo is pretty awesome. Like I spoke to so many locals, and yeah, it was just easy to communicate. It makes a big difference when you can speak the language. And it actually makes them really happy. So that's awesome. And then I think another cool thing is like being able to say hello in many other languages. That way, when you see people from different cultures, you can say hello in their language. It really just puts a smile on a lot of people's faces. I know when people say namaste to me, like it puts a smile on my face. And then I noticed when I was saying hello to them, like whether they were Korean or Filipino or wherever they were from, I would say hello to them and they would be super happy about it. So, just another pro tip if you want to just spread some more joy out there. What else? I think those are all the questions for now. I will create those 2 other videos as well, just because I feel like those are much more in depth. Um, I will say this, like if you have a calling to go on the way and like go and experience this pilgrimage, then just remember like when has it ever not worked out? Like we get so in our heads about like specific experiences and stuff, and it's always worked out. So just remember to have faith, and it's going to work out this time too. So I hope you guys got what you needed from this video. Well, I'm sure you did. I'm sure you got what you needed exactly from it, but I hope this video helps you in some way. And yeah, check out the other videos if you want to learn about like what to pack for it, and then what some of the emotional and mental challenges can be like and what you can do to prepare for them. Anyways, thank you guys. Bye.